Life in Balance is brought to you by Medical City and Guam Windward Memorial.
Hafiday and welcome to Life in Balance. We'll be talking with Dr. Christian De Los Reyes and Lawrence Sabayan about the travel guidelines in the Philippines, the new services available at the Medical City's referral office in Guam, and more. Then we'll talk to Don Sulat about his upcoming travel plans. And lastly, Don and I face a head-to-head challenge to see who can pack their suitcase the fastest. Hafiday and welcome to this episode of Life in Balance. Today we are joined by some very special guests from the Medical City. First and foremost, how are you two doing during your visit to Guam?
Well, great. It has been like a couple of years since the last time we were here, and it's nice to see the island.
Well, the island is very happy to have both of you back. Well, just to start off, we have a united vision to promote, a healthy and balanced lifestyle through our show's platform. So this is a great opportunity for us to learn about the Medical City. So with that being said, I'd like to start off the interview by having the both of you introduce yourselves and what you do at the Medical City.
Okay, good morning everyone. I am Dr. Christian De Los Reyes. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer and Senior Vice President of the Medical City.
Well, I'm Lawrence Mayan. People on the island call me Lo. Okay. I'm the Assistant Vice President and Division Head for Marketing and Business Development of the Medical City.
Awesome. Okay, well now that we have those introductions, I just wanted to start off by asking, as more places in the world have opened, I know so many people are interested in traveling, but we still have to abide by guidelines. So what are the new travel guidelines in the Philippines?
Well, quite timely because the Philippines now has opened up its borders, and the restrictions have been lifted, and we're close to the lowest level of alert. What we have now is an open arms from the Philippines that everybody now is actually welcome without having to undergo any quarantine. Certain tests or requirements are needed, but the quarantine, which is a big thing for most of our travelers, have been actually eliminated and lifted. And even the malls and the places in the Philippines now are also open and welcoming most of our foreign friends and patients.
Well, that's great, most especially because we will be talking about the referral office soon. But, circling it back to Guam, I know most of Guam's community is familiar with GRMC, but for those who might not know, what is the relationship between GRMC and the Medical City?
So, GRMC, or Guam Regional Medical Center, is actually a sister company of the Medical City as an enterprise, the Medical City Orthopedics. So it's been that way, and then the brand of care that the GRMC has been giving all these years is the same brand of care that the Medical City Enterprise has been giving across all our subsidiaries.
Right. Nice. And we're shifting it to the referral office. So can you tell me a little bit about the new services that the TMC referral office in Guam provides?
Well, I can say that because of all these things that are unprecedentedly unfolding each day, the Medical City Referral Office has always been prepared and coordinating with the government, particularly in the Philippines, abiding by the protocols accepted worldwide. So that's mostly what we have injected in our services to make sure that the patients, particularly the patients coming to the Philippines, can just focus on recovery, and we'll take care of everything non-clinical. So we book their appointment, we make sure that they will be comfortable in their planes, and they get picked up when they arrive at the airport. And even here on Guam, on the island, if they need anything or any assistance, when they come back from the Philippines to here, they can get all these personalized services that we're providing the Medical City Referral Office.
That's great to know, most especially now that the new travel guidelines are in place. This is a great thing for everybody who's receiving care. And the last question that I wanted to ask, there is a new promo, Back to the City, Back to Health. So can you tell me a little bit about this new promo?
Okay, so this is to actually encourage the people. We started it in the Philippines with our campaign on Do Not Delay because we wanted to actually address the developing sub-pandemic, those that have been delaying their care and their health care because they are scared going to the hospital, or maybe because of all the restrictions. And now that we have relaxed all these restrictions, just like what Dr. Christian said, we're open arms to receiving patients. And this campaign is to actually provide that stimulus for them to be able to be on top of their health. So this promo is actually exclusive for the Pacific Islands, Guam and the Pacific Islands. It's Back to Health, Back to the Medical City, where our patients and their companions, because most of them would come with a companion when they go to the Philippines, can enjoy as much as 15% discount for all the services of the Medical City. And not only that, we also have created this package because I know that a lot of the people here in Guam have been really looking forward to having their executive checkups and their annual checkups.
Yeah.
So this package is as low as $530. So it already includes the executive checkup plus the 3 days and 2 nights in their chosen hotels. We have quite a handful of partner hotels, plus the very famous Shop Hop, because the Medical City in Ortigas is in the heart of the metro. There are a lot of malls there.
Yes.
So we have this activity Shop Hop. So and that is also to promote that Philippines is actually a safe place to go to, even if there's still an ongoing pandemic.
Right. That's great. And the last question that I wanted to ask the both of you, what are some safe travel tips that you can share with our viewers? Because I know that you guys just, came on plane, visited Guam. So what are some safe travel tips that you can share?
I'll leave that to the doctor.
Of course, because of certain requirements, you would have to take some tests,
Yes.
RT-PCR or antigen. I think coming here, you're required either RT-PCR or antigen. Antigen will actually suffice. But going back to the Philippines, or the requirement would be actually RT-PCR. Well, it's important to actually go to the airport early to prepare yourself for. It's not a tedious process of checking in, but anticipating surge of actual travelers.
Yes.
Now going to different places, you should always wear a mask, and of course you always need to sanitize your hands and the usual, shall we say, safety precautions you need to do. And if you can travel light, because if you're going to the Philippines to have your executive checkup, coming back would be, after shopping a lot, probably have to
Right.
carry more luggage. So that's the thing, and really have to probably just savor the moment of being able to travel again.
Right.
And as you see, the borders have opened up, and we're encouraging everybody to now look into not just your health, but look into your welfare,
Yes.
look into your well-being. And if it's traveling that would make you, shall you say, have that mental health, just do it now.
Yes.
Look into your whatever symptoms you're feeling now. If you have hypertension, look into doing your follow-ups. If you need to undergo your annual physical exam to give you the peace of mind, do it now, because now is the time that the borders have opened. We're not saying that it eventually be restricted again in the coming months, but we're hoping it's going to be a permanent thing. But I guess you've prolonged you've been delaying seeing your doctor or looking into your health. So now is the time to do that. Now is the time to really take that chance and get back to your health. And Medical City is more than willing to actually assist you and be there with you.
Yes, and that's great to know. That's definitely great to know, most especially for everybody you guys provide care for. So
Let me add
yes.
one more thing. Of course, there would always be an issue on what will happen to us when we come back to Guam. What will happen to our shall we say follow-ups, coordination with our doctors, our referral office, and of course both GMH and Guam Regional Medical City is actually in close coordination and sharing of all this information with your doctors will be not a problem anymore. So that shouldn't be a worry for most of our patients because of that, shall we say, seamless coordination.
And don't go away, PNC's Don Sulat is stopping by to talk about travel tips and more. Hafaday, and welcome back to Life in Balance. So today we are joined again by a Life in Balance favorite, Mr. Don Sulat. Don, how are you doing?
I'm ready to eat.
Oh, I am too. But you know, before we go and eat, we have to talk about traveling because that's something that you're actually going to be doing pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, you are a frequent traveler. You know, I just wanted to ask you if you could give us a little bit of tips before, if anybody was interested in traveling soon.
Sure. So pre-pandemic, I traveled more often than not because I'm originally from Saipan. So I moved out here 2016 to go to university. My parents are still back home. Miss the family, go home. It's just it used to be a cheap ticket, you know,
Yeah.
but things have changed, unfortunately. But it's still nice, you know. And traveling itself, it sounds more complicated than it really is, especially in light of COVID
Right.
and rising fuel costs. But there are ways to go around it, and which we'll go more into detail about.
Yes. And you know, before we get into that, you were talking about having to come back and forth from Guam to Saipan. So could you tell me a little bit about that experience and the process when you were doing that, and what was quarantine like during that time?
So I went back home in May 2021 for 10 days. At that time, now it's different. There's no more quarantine. By the time you needed to do a 5-day quarantine, and thankfully the government paid for it. I was secluded in a very nice hotel for 5 days.
Oh, wow.
But the issue was it was too secluded. You know, it's same problems that a lot of people in the pandemic when they did quarantine, regardless if they had COVID or not. You're alone. But
Yeah.
thankfully, the tips I give dealing with quarantining is really contact your friends, FaceTime them. Zoom is still available if no one has FaceTime.
Yes.
WhatsApp has video features, Discord, you know, all of that. So that's what helped out because when I was quarantined during that time, all I had was someone knocking at the door to deliver the food, and I couldn't tell who was, you know, if there was actually people there.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, segueing back to travel, you know, since you fly frequently, I said frequently, but since you fly frequently, could you give us a little bit, can you give us some tips when you get on the plane? How do you stay green? Because I know that that's something that's really important to you when you travel.
Sure. So before I entered the plane, obviously now you can't forget the mask when you go to the plane. Even though certain countries, certain places don't have mask restrictions anymore, most of the airports still require a mask, at least in the United States, regardless of what airline. Going back and forth from Guam to Saipan is just United, so United requires the mask, so that's number one. Number two, either your passport or your birth certificate, because if you travel within the United States, even with its territories, all you need is a birth certificate to go back and forth. And to stay green, I know you're not allowed to bring water, but I always bring an empty hydro flask and I fill it up at the airport. Most whole airports have a refillable water station. I travel light. I try to make it a one-time stop, regardless of me traveling just to Saipan. If I'm traveling, let's say to the continental United States, I try to make it a one-stop flight if my budget can afford it, because a layover costs more fuel. I try my best to keep that in mind, and even though I'm traveling a lot. I don't think it's a lot, but
Yeah.
I try to travel as often. I try to minimize my carbon footprint while I'm traveling.
Yes, definitely. And also, I wanted to ask you, because you're going to be traveling again, are you hesitant to travel right now, or are you excited? Where are you leaning more?
I'm excited because, well, I'm vaccinated. I still need to get my booster shot, but I'm still excited to go back and forth. We're planning for either Japan or Korea because Japan just opened up. Korea is open. We're planning for that in Christmas. Finally get to see snow, have a white Christmas.
Wow.
Right. But a tip I have also, check, if you're going to a different country, check their visitor bureaus, check their websites,
Yes.
because different countries have different regulations, not like the United States.
Right.
Japan right now is not fully open. I believe, and someone's gonna correct me, it's only open to business and if you're a student. So we're hoping in the upcoming months it's fully open, but if not, there's Korea. Korea requires you to have different types of tests. When you arrive, you need to take more tests while you arrive too, just to be safe, because again, their country, their rules. So my biggest advice would be to check the visitor bureaus, all of their websites, to see as COVID guidelines slowly shift. Because some places, like if you're traveling to Europe, they don't recognize a American authorized vaccine. That you need a European authorized vaccine. Thankfully, Pfizer and Moderna are authorized, but you have to get it as a EAU certified as well. So you
that's
need,
very interesting.
yeah, you need a lot. Always check the visitor websites, because everything I say right now could change when this episode airs,
Right.
or later in the future as well. So yeah, that's my biggest advice.
Yes, and those are great tips. And segueing into the fun part of traveling, I know that it's really important to stay safe and to also reduce your carbon footprint. But just talking about packing in general, like that, isn't that fun? I know it's like a point. Some people don't enjoy it, but I think anticipating that is so fun. So what is enjoyable for you?
Well, lately I became for the people who don't know, I became a photographer, videographer. So my travel experience has gotten a little more heavy, my travel stuff. But it's kind of like a puzzle. I don't necessarily enjoy it, nor do I hate packing, but I find it like a little bit of a puzzle. Like, okay, do I need to bring this lens? Do I need to bring this nice jacket? I'm only going to Saipan. It's as hot as Guam for crying out loud,
Right.
So it becomes a puzzle piece, and I'm as Destiny May can attest, I am a big procrastinator.
Yes,
But
but that's okay. That's why we love you.
well, thank you. Someone has to. I mean, but I digress. People are prone to packing last minute. It doesn't hurt to check, even if you plan ahead. So if you're like me and you like to pack a little last minute, I do have like stations. Like, okay, if I don't.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Right? Make it easy. Like, you don't have to necessarily pack everything, because I have like ADHD or ADD, and I need to see it to make sure I have it. So I just put it all in clear sight, and then I remember how the layout of my bag on how to pack it, so that way I can just go.
Right.
So make your ADD or your procrastination work for you. That's what I say. when it comes to stuff like
Definitely.
this.
Use it to your benefit. Okay. And then my last question for you. I know that you're going to Saipan pretty soon, but aside from Saipan, where's your most favorite place that you have traveled to?
Oh my! It would have to be Korea. That was my first time traveling without any parental funding. That was me feeling like a quote-unquote adult,
Yes.
That was pre-pandemic. And again, I checked the visitor bureau, because they have a lot of discounts available. They could tell you what's on trending right now, what sales are going on in certain areas. And of course, it helps we did go off the beaten path, quote-unquote, and we just check for new areas that are not.
that's fun.
Yeah,
That's
that-
awesome.
They're not super touristy.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you want to get enrich in the culture.
Right.
And it was a new experience being landlocked. Because I've
Ooh.
never actually been landlocked. I've been, coming from Saipan, going to Philippines. I live near a lake, near
Yeah.
an ocean. I forgot where it was actually.
Either
It's
or.
been a while.
One of them. One of them will be right.
Right. But yeah, it was a great experience to see, and I get to see tourist point of view when they come here. Because coming back
Right.
from Seoul, I got to see a kid be a kid. Like, I've never experienced traveling like that, or at least I don't remember traveling at his age. And then I'm like, wow, he's so. It was a red-eye flight, so I was kind of grumpy, but just seeing that, I was like, oh, it feels good to be. It's nice to see someone's youth again, you know?
Yes, definitely. Well, Don, I am living vicariously through you. I am traveling with you to Saipan in my brain. So I hope that you enjoy your trip coming up, and thank you so much for sharing these tips with us today.
I'll spam you with photos, don't worry.
Yes, please.
Of my
And
dogs
and the ube.
And yeah, I got you.
Yes, yes. All right, well, Don's going to be heading to Saipan soon, but we're going to see you in the next segment of Life in Balance. Up next, Don and I are battling for the title of the fastest suitcase packer. Stick around to see who beats the clock in time to catch their flight. Welcome back to Life in Balance. So we are joined again by Don Sulad, our favorite unofficial co-host of Life in Balance. But he's official to us, right, Don?
Sure.
Yes. All right. Well, you know, we were speaking about traveling in this episode, so we thought there's nothing more fun than to race. We're going to see who can pack this luggage the fastest. So right now I have my timer on 2.5 minutes. So within that time frame, Don has to pack each and every one of these items on the table the fastest that he can. So we're going to be challenging. Don, do you feel confident?
Yeah, man.
Oh, okay. Well, just to make things a little bit more challenging,
Hey, well.
we have all of these different things on the desk, and he has to put them in the pouch. He would have to take off the hangers from the clothes. He would also have to fold these ties nicely. Everything has to be packed nicely and neatly in this luggage in 2 minutes. Oh, and don't forget, you have to zip the luggage up as well.
Minor.
Minor? All right, well,
Let's go.
ready, Don?
No.
All right, well, your time starts now.
Girl, my flight's in 20 minutes, so we have to be at the airport.
They're gonna leave you. Hurry!
See your uncle's getting mad. Why you late, boy?
They're calling last call for the plane.
Oh no.
Nicely,
no.
nicely.
Fake it till you make it, girl. It's gonna go unfolded in the plane anyway. They don't need to see that. I used
But
to
you
work-
don't have an iron, so you have to fold it nicely.
The airport, what's that? The airport, the hotel has, it has iron. Don't worry about it.
You got 1 minute and 45 seconds. Make sure it could fit. Ooh, the technique.
I used to work
Very
retail.
interesting.
Used to work retail.
Don't forget to pack your hangers.
Huh?
Yep.
The hotel
They're coming-
has.
They're coming with you.
Yeah, they.
124. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Ooh, he even buttoned it. Do I have to button it?
Yes, you do.
But my nails. I don't think I can button it, guys.
Don't be fake.
Oh my god, that 106. I think I gave you too much time.
No.
This is a breeze. You're not even moving fast.
Girl,
Oh my god, with the quickness. Oh, with the strap as well. Is a technique. With 53 seconds on the clock. Oh my goodness, it looks like he's gonna make his flight.
Uy, let's go. We living in Lohan. Let's go. We have
Go,
to
go, go! Wow!
Time.
So, and he had only 39 seconds left to pack that entire luggage. Honestly, I don't think I can beat that time. I have nails. It makes things very hard to pick up, so we'll see. If I break a nail during this segment, I just hope I don't.
Welcome back. It's Miss Destiny Cruz's turn. Can she beat my time?
I don't know, but I'm gonna try.
Let's find out. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. The time to beat is 39 seconds. Ready?
39.
Steady. Go!
Oh,
Uy.
oh no, my
Oh
corner.
no! You gotta pack that, girl. Like, what if the place you're going to is a cash-based society
oh, no,
only,
this is
you
the
know?
worst. I have nails. No!
Oh no!
Oh no!
I see she copied my strat of packing that first.
Come
You gotta zip it up. It's gonna
I'm
go
gonna
every-
revisit it. I'm gonna revisit it.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, look at that strategy.
Uh-huh.
Strategy.
This is gonna fall.
No, it won't. It's secured.
Uh-huh.
See, look at this beautiful technique.
I thought we had to fold. That's not folding.
Yes, it is.
That's wrapping. I didn't
It's
see
a good roll. It saves space.
see a wrapper.
I'm a wrapper.
Ooh, 1:40 left on the clock. Oh. What happened to folded knife?
It is nice.
You know this has wrinkles. You know how is it to dry clean a suit?
You said that there's gonna be a
I folded it nicely. You're gonna break. She's gonna break my straw. You saw it. Look, you saw it. You saw it. There was.
We gotta go.
Okay, 6 on the clock.
Oh yeah.
Let me just zip it up.
I'm ready.
All right. 59 seconds.
And I am obviously the winner. I packed my suitcase way better than Don does. And you can see it. Look at this.
Look at that. Do you see that?
Look at this. It's ready to wear. You can just throw it on right off the plane. No big deal.
My suit. You ruined my suit, girl. 20 seconds more, and you could have folded it nicely. You could have at least zipped this
I made my flight.
So did
I was the first one there. All right, well, that's going to close out this episode of Life in Balance. In all seriousness, thank you guys for taking this trip with us in this episode, and we'll see you next time. Adios.
Adios.